with empty cans and cloaks scattered nearby. In the center of the cave, waves of bright energy swirl around Tien as he meditates. Suddenly his eyes snap open, glowing with power, and a bolt of lightning shoots into the sky. Smoke billows through the cave as Tien rises from the shadows, staring at his hands now sparkling with energy. Clenching his fists, he grins with satisfaction, knowing without a doubt that he has reached the elite martial warrior realm. Pulling on his cloak, a confident smirk spreads across his face as he declares it is time to hunt. It has been raining for a long time now. After stepping out of the cave, Tien notices 11 newly constructed graves and instantly understands that Ling must have made them. Standing in front of one, he reflects that with the number of monsters in the lake, not even bones would have remained. Yet despite that, Ling had the kindness to mark their deaths with graves. His eyes then catch sight of an umbrella, the same one Ling and her elderly teammate, now dead, used to dive with. Curiously, he opens it and is amazed to find it creates a waterproof bubble. As he studies it more, he realizes the bubbles fully surround him, allowing him to dive into water without trouble. Excited by the discovery, he combines it with his shadow talent to remain undetected by monsters and plunges into the lake of death. As he dives deeper, something massive catches his attention. At first he can't tell what it is, but soon recognizes it as a tiger claw fish with a mid-tier innate talent. The creature is so large that Tien nearly panics, afraid it has spotted him, but he holds his nerve and keeps descending. Eventually, he reaches the deepest part of the lake and begins to wonder if the immortal jellyfish is really down there. Suddenly he senses something suspicious following him, and when he turns, a set of tentacles crashes into the ground, sending him tumbling through the water. Alarmed, he scans the area and then sees the opponent's status window. His eyes go wide in disbelief. It's the immortal jellyfish he has been searching for all this time, possessing a novice tier innate talent and an apex tier healing talent. Just as the jellyfish's tentacle is about to strike the bubble, Tien summons his dagger and swings it with force, managing to slice the tentacle clean off. The monster howls in pain, but it quickly regenerates, thanks to its apex healing talent. As the restored tentacle lashes toward him again, Tien pulls an unexpected move. He reaches out, touches it, and instantly copies the apex healing talent. Before he can react further, the tentacle hurls him deeper into the lake with such force that it shatters the bulletproof umbrella, making it difficult for him to breathe. Gasping for air, he spots swarms of jellyfish closing in on him. Knowing he now has the healing talent but still outnumbered, Tien decides it's smarter to retreat than face a deadly swarm in such dangerous conditions. Yi Tian races through the forest, pushing his speed and strength talents to the limit. Danger still lingers behind him, but he finally breaks free from whatever was chasing him. Breathing heavily, he slows down and glances back to make sure he's truly safe. With the threat behind him, it's time to focus on why he came here. Clearing his mind, he prepares to copy a new talent. A familiar screen appears, confirming that the apex tier healing talent has been successfully copied. Without hesitation, Yi Tian agrees to fuse it, and his body jolts as the new power merges with his own. Pain flickers through him, but it's nothing he hasn't faced before. After copying so many talents, his body has adapted to the strain, and the process now feels almost routine. With another powerful skill added to his collection, he's steadily growing stronger, and his journey is far from over. The fusion completes successfully, and his status window updates. His cultivation talent remains high tier, his sword and shadow talents are unchanged, and now his healing talent is upgraded to apex tier. This time, the fusion is smooth, and unlike before, there are no painful side effects. His body has clearly grown used to it. To test his new healing ability, Yi Tian takes out a drop of venom from the immortal jellyfish. The poison is so deadly that even a tiny amount could kill a normal person, but he lets a drop touch his skin anyway. The venom begins working immediately, but Yi Tian quickly activates his healing talent, and the wound vanishes as if it never existed. He's impressed by how powerful the healing is, yet it also makes him realize something important. Most of the talents he currently has are support-based, like healing and defense. While they help him survive, they aren't enough to win against powerful enemies. If he wants to grow stronger and take on tougher opponents, he needs to copy an attack-type talent next. Later, back at home, Yi Tian sits quietly as Ye Yu trims his hair. He's flipping through a beast encyclopedia, scanning the pages for something worthwhile. He reads about the aggressive bear and the flame bird, but neither impresses him. They're just average. Suddenly, Ye Yu gets annoyed and scolds him for disappearing without telling her anything, calling him horrible for making her worry. Yi Tian offers a small smile and apologizes, knowing she's right. As she continues cutting his hair, Yi Tian suddenly freezes. Something in the book grabs his full attention, the mighty ant. He reads the entry carefully. Even though this beast is low tier, it's always found in groups, and when they attack together, even top martial warriors struggle to survive. Yi Tian's eyes light up. This is exactly what he's been looking for. It's not about raw power alone. It's about teamwork, coordination, and overwhelming force. Now he knows what to hunt next. Yi Tian enters the martial pavilion and is greeted by a polite voice welcoming him inside. Behind the counter, a familiar girl recognizes him and smiles, surprised to see Ye Tian again after some time. She casually asks what he's looking for today, and without wasting a moment, Ye Tian replies that he needs a complete mighty ant body. At first, Xiao seems a little confused, thinking maybe he wants it to soak in wine like others do to boost physical recovery. She even jokes that maybe he's feeling weak, but Ye Tian quickly clears up the misunderstanding. Xiao apologizes and tells him they don't have any mighty ants in stock, but instead of turning him away, she shares some recent news that might interest him. She explains that Linhai Base is currently working with a mid-sized base to build a commercial trade route, and the area between the two locations is wild and filled with dangerous beasts. Among them is a nest of mighty ants. Hearing this, Ye Tian immediately connects the dots and asks if the base she's referring to is the Iron Fang Base, the only mid-sized base close to Linhai. Xiao confirms his guess and says the Iron Fang Base is located about 100 kilometers away. The mighty ants are somewhere along that route, and it might be the opportunity Ye Tian has been waiting for. While chatting with Xiao, Ye Tian listens closely as she shares more about the situation with the Iron Fang Base. She brings up something interesting. Apparently, some time ago, a person from the Mo family died under mysterious circumstances. Because of that, the Mo family suspected the Iron Fang Base was secretly planning an invasion. Ye Tian raises an eyebrow, but Xiao continues and explains that the Mo family went to investigate the matter directly. Surprisingly, the Iron Fang Base managed to resolve the misunderstanding peacefully, at least on the surface. In fact, it was only because of the Mo family's involvement that the Iron Fang Base and the Lin family were able to reach an agreement to build a commercial trade route. That bit of information gets Ye Tian thinking, if the Mo family had a hand in this, then there's a good chance they were involved in something shady, because the timing and connections feel off. Ye Tian doesn't say much, but it's clear that suspicion is building in his mind. Just then, Xiao finds what she's been looking for and hands Ye Tian a small item. It's a token. She explains that the token is required to participate in special events, and it was originally meant for their young miss, but apparently, plans must have changed. Before Ye Tian can ask more, Xiao adds with a proud smirk that their martial pavilion is part of a large base, and they have no plans to lower themselves by working under a mid-sized base like the Iron Fang, clearly unimpressed by the Iron Fang's ambitions. The two bases are working together to build a trade route, but the path is filled with dangerous beasts, so they've decided to send out a team of martial warriors to clear the area. For Ye Tian, this is the perfect opportunity because he's been looking for a mighty ant, and joining this mission might help him find one. In the Linhai base, the Lin family holds absolute power, and even the once powerful Mo family is now treated like nothing more than loyal subjects. Knowing this, Ye Tian makes up his mind. It's time to move. When he reaches the Lin family's recruitment area, he sees just how serious they are. As expected, they've gathered a huge crowd, and hundreds of warriors are ready to take part in the mission. But Ye Tian stays cautious, blending into the background because drawing attention now could be risky. Suddenly, the crowd grows quiet, and a powerful presence enters. It's Lin Mingji, the current head of the Lin family and a peak elite martial warrior. Lin Mingji greets the warriors and officially begins the beast-clearing operation. Ye Tian watches from the back, staying alert, but then something catches his eye. The Mo family is here too. Lin Mingji steps forward and addresses the crowd with a powerful voice. He explains that everyone knows how small the Linhai base is, and because of that, resources are limited, and not everyone can get what they need to grow stronger through cultivation. That's why this collaboration with a mid-sized base is such a big deal. If the operation succeeds, the benefits will be huge not just for the Lin family, but for everyone involved. Still, Lin Mingji doesn't sugarcoat the situation, and reminds everyone that clearing out the monsters along the trade route won't be easy. There's real danger, and some might not make it back. Even so, he promises that the rewards for this mission will be greater than anything offered in past hunts. The warriors in the crowd start to feel the excitement. For many of them, this could be their chance to make a name for themselves or gain something valuable enough to change their future. The crowd breaks into loud cheers, voices echoing through the base as everyone shouts praises for the Lin family. Amid the excitement, Ye Tian watches from a distance and notices Captain Galewolf, wondering if he still remembers him. But before he can think too much about it, Lin Mingji speaks again with strong conviction, clearing up any doubts among the gathered warriors. Lin Mingji assures everyone that whatever they earn during this operation, whether it's rare beast parts, materials, or treasures, will fully belong to them. The Lin family won't take a share. Then comes another surprise as Lin Mingji reveals additional rewards. Every martial warrior will receive 20 bottles of mid-tier monster blood and 2 million coins. On the other hand, elite warriors will be rewarded with 3 bottles of high-tier monster blood and a generous 10 million coins. The crowd erupts again, now fully motivated. The announcement isn't just an offer, it's a golden opportunity. A long line of eager warriors forms beside the assessment station, where an official directs everyone to place their hands on a glowing stone. The stone measures each individual's strength and reveals their current level of cultivation. One result shows a mid-tier martial apprentice, and the warrior moves aside while the next in line approaches. Yetian waits and watches, remembering Yue Ling's advice that relying on powerful clans, especially the Mo family, only brings trouble. Staying unnoticed is safer for now. The stone measures force based on the pressure delivered, so if Yetian applies only part of his real power, the reading will drop to a lower rank and avoid unwanted attention. When his turn comes, Yetian steps forward and calmly rests his hand on the stone, ready to mask his true strength, making sure to limit his power. Yetian wants the result to show a late-stage martial warrior, just enough to participate without drawing too much attention. The stone glows briefly and displays the result, late-stage martial warrior. The crowd around Yetian stirs, and people glance over, surprised to see someone so young already at that level. Some assume he must be from a powerful family, given the talent needed to reach that stage so early. Yetian stays composed but thinks he might have revealed a bit too much. Even though he held back, the attention is already growing. Nearby warriors talk among themselves, comparing their own progress. One complains about still being stuck in the mid-stage, while another jokes about how real geniuses always show up young, leaving the rest of them struggling to move forward. Not far from the assessment area, Captain Galewolf watches the scene. His squad is still short one member, and after seeing Yetian's display, he considers adding him to the team. The crowd buzzes with excitement as Yetian approaches, and despite his strength, he heads straight for Captain Galewolf's group. Many others hoped he would join one of the stronger or more elite squads, but Yetian makes his choice without hesitation. Galewolf immediately recognizes him and recalls the young martial apprentice who once saved a little girl from the jaws of a silver moon wolf. The memory sticks with him, but what surprises him even more is that the same boy has now reached the level of a late-stage martial warrior in less than a year. Yetian downplays his progress, calling it pure luck, and keeps his tone humble as he asks to join Galewolf's team for the upcoming operation. The captain doesn't hesitate for a second and welcomes Yetian into the group with open arms, clearly proud and excited to have him back. Yetian stands among his new teammates in Galewolf's squad, fully prepared for the mission. He politely asks them to look out for him during the operation, and the group welcomes him warmly, especially glad to have another late-stage martial warrior on their side. His presence lifts their morale, making them feel more confident that the hunt might go more smoothly than expected. Up ahead, Galewolf gathers the team and points toward the mission zone, explaining that only weak-tier monsters are expected in the area. Still, he firmly reminds everyone to stay alert and avoid rushing in recklessly, as safety always comes first. Just as they begin to move out, Yetian suddenly senses something rushing toward them at high speed. The team stiffens, ready for battle, but Galewolf quickly reassures them, suggesting it's probably the first wave of monsters and nothing they can't handle. He quickly assigns positions, he'll lead at the front, Yetian will cover the rear, and the rest will hold the middle and flanks. With everything set, Yetian sharpens his focus, and calmly tells the group that whatever's coming, they can leave it to him. Yetian and his group stand close to the building, facing the two red animals that growl and prepare to attack. Indeed, tension builds as both sides get ready for the fight. One of Yetian's teammates shouts for the battle to begin, and Yetian agrees, his eyes fixed on the enemies ahead. In an instant, the red animals rush forward. Also, their movements are wild and fast, but Yetian quickly pulls out his sword and meets their attack head-on. Yetian blocks the first strike and kills one red animal. Without wasting time, Yetian rushes toward the other red beast, and then, with strong force, Yetian lifts his leg high and kicks one of the other animals, sending it flying backward. Yetian holds his sword tight, jumps forward, and drives the blade deep into the creature's body. The sword goes all the way in, and the red animal lets out a loud cry before falling to the ground, lifeless. After the battle, Yetian and Captain Galewolf stand among the fallen beasts. The fight ends quickly, but clearly shows everyone's skill. Galewolf proudly mentions that he managed to take down 3 enemies, while Yetian just smiles, keeping to himself that he purposely held back so his full strength wouldn't attract attention. Another team member laughs and jokes that Yetian is already impressive for his age, teasing Galewolf by saying, maybe it's time for the captain to stop showing off. Galewolf plays along, pretending to be offended before laughing with the group. Then, someone brings up a more serious observation that the wolves didn't wait to ambush them inside the valley, which would have trapped the team and given the wolves a much better chance at winning. The group goes quiet, sensing something's not right, because if the wolves didn't follow their usual strategy, maybe they were rushed or forced into the fight. After that, one of the members takes a careful look around and suddenly realizes something important, that the wolves may have intended to attack in the valley, but something else might have stopped them. Moreover, he suggests that this might not actually be wolf territory, and that stronger beasts in the area could have driven them out. Hearing this, the team starts to grasp the real danger, and a younger member nervously points out that there are only 5 of them deep in this city, but one of the team members quickly steps in to reassure everyone and reminds them that they have a solid team made up of 3 mid-stage and 2 late-stage martial warriors, which is more than enough to stay confident and hold their ground. To ease the tension, Gale Wolf reveals a small device about the Lin family's walkie-talkie and explains that each captain has been given one in case of emergencies. If something goes wrong, Gale Wolf can quickly call for backup. With that assurance,